welcome to Motorhome Talk. I'm Mike and I love to talk about motorhomes. Well, today I've decided to add a few things to my motorhome, so I went on a road trip. As you know, I'm new to RVing and to towing, not to RVing, but to towing. So I had to decide on a tow bar. I looked at the various tow bars on the market, and after review of all of them that I could find, I decided to go with Roadmaster. And why Roadmaster is because they have a stellar reputation. I thought the ease of connecting the vehicle to the motorhome was simpler with the Roadmaster, and their levers to prevent any jamming made sense to me. So that's why I chose the Roadmaster. I went with the Sterling because it was lighter, and I thought that would be helpful, particularly as I age. So after deciding on that, my next step was I had to decide on a braking system. So there's lots of braking system, and everybody's trying to sell you a braking system, including when I tried to buy the Roadmaster. But I had my sights set on a different older system by M&G Braking Systems out of Athens, Texas. I had read about them in the past before I decided to get into towing, because I figured if I ever got into towing, that's the company I'd like to go to. So I contacted Marty down there in Athens and set up an appointment where I could come down and have him put the braking system in my Jeep, and also I wanted to get Roadmaster attached. Now, I wanted to buy the Roadmaster at the FMCA rally because you could get a discount, a rally discount. But I didn't want to arrive with all this stuff to Monty's because Monty sells a Roadmaster, and I wanted to make sure it was okay to him rather than bringing all the stuff that he sells. You know, he's got to make a living too, but he was fine with it. He said, if you can get the discount, get the discount. He told me to get the attachments, buy them there, and just bring everything down to him. So we went down to see Marty, and I was going to film him putting in the braking system in the Jeep, but after reviewing online, there's multiple videos of M&G braking system with Monty. Actually, he said that's the only advertising he does is people video him and putting him up on YouTube. So I didn't want to reinvent the wheel, so I didn't film him then. And I did add a little short filming because as I was waiting for Monty to connect the braking system, lo and behold, another Newell pulls in. So I decided to go over and chat with him, and his name was Mike, and the owner, and he lives in Texas, and he was having a braking system put on his new pickup truck, full-size pickup truck, by the way. And I chatted with him about motorhomes because that's what I love to do, and he was telling me that he's heading up to the Upper Peninsula in Michigan. So we finished with our braking system put on, and here I am at M&G Engineering, and I had my Jeep attached to their braking system to my motorhome, and lo and behold, there's another Newell that had pulled in next to me. A fellow named Mike. We were chatting about motorhomes for quite a while. There's the Jeep attached to the Newell, and there's my friend Mike's Newell. Okay, we'll be heading out. I was going to do a big spread on M&G braking, but oh, there's my wife, but decided there was a lot of it already online, so no sense in doing that. A nice experience, and we'll be heading out. Bike was going to be in Texas. I had decided that I wanted to put a flat run system on my two front tires. In other words, if I had a blowout, I'd have something there so I wouldn't just crash down on the wheel well and then have my whole motor coach dragged along the pavement. My older motor coach had something called a Tyron band, which was an older style protection system, but it didn't fill the wheel well. It kept the rubber supposedly in the wheel well, and you could pull over to the side, but it wasn't a great system, I didn't think. Well, since then, there's two newer systems that have come on the market. One is Retroband. The other system is from Red Diamond, and it's called a Run Flat system. And Red Diamond is a subsidiary of Spartan Chassis. Well, I looked at both of them, and they both look similar, and I'm sure they both will do what they need to do. The reason I went with the Red Diamond was its system has a roller and the other system did not. And the roller, in theory, is to help prevent friction and therefore heat if you do have a blowout. I believe the run flat system is made for Red Diamond by the Hutchinson Company. The Hutchinson Company is a defense contractor that makes a similar system to the run flat system for the United States military. So I decided to go with the Red Diamond system. But as I said, both would probably work, and the ideal thing is just to have some protection, because if you do have a blowout, your chassis is going to hit the pavement, you're going to get a lot of damage. At least that's what I'm thinking. So I was excited about filming the whole production of putting on this run flat system from Red Diamond. However, when I got to my installer, he kind of said that he had no problems with me filming, but that they didn't have Red Diamond's permission to film, so they weren't going to let me film it. So I don't have any video of it. I also asked if I could come in and watch, but then they said no, that wasn't their policy. So we just stayed there, and the process did take all day, and it was a big process to put it on, but we got it on. The only drawback, I gotta tell you, is the price. It's expensive. It's a little over $5,000 for the two front tires. You can buy a lot of tires for the front of your vehicle, but I felt that this was a safety issue. I hope I never have to use it, but I wanted to let people know about it, and they can compare the two systems and decide if they think it's worth the money. I will say, while I was there getting the run flat system put on, we had a discussion with the owner about tires. He came over and he ended up talking to me about tires, and he was poo-pooing Michelin tires. Well, I always loved Michelin tires. I got Michelin tires on my cars. Both of my motorhomes had Michelin tires. I never had any problems with Michelin tires, but he really didn't like Michelin tires, and he said he took off his tires immediately when he bought his coach and put on either Firestone or Bridgestone. Those were the two that he went with. So if anybody has any comments on the negativity of Michelin tires, please feel free to comment, because like I said, I always thought Michelin tires were fine and I never had any problems with them. So just wanted to add that. That was just a little discussion we had at the automotive place. Thank you. Millionville is a very nice place for the evening. Here's the drive through the front gates. The gates are open now. They close at 4 o'clock, and then you stay back in this area. You can see the parking is ample parking for multiple motorhomes, and we found the place very quiet, very restful. Drive off the interstate was easy. It's down by the airport, so things aren't as congested. It's been a really nice day, and we would highly recommend staying at Vermilionville Harvest Host. It's an example of a French immigrant home that was built in, let's see,
1850?
1850, right. And you can see it's right on the bayou, which is really nicely done. It's got a garden.
I wonder where those stairs go.
I don't know. Maybe they're there to sleep, but I don't know if it'd be warmer or colder up there. It's a little warm in Louisiana today. Let's go in and see what. Go in here.
But on Sunday afternoon in New Orleans, on what they call Congo Square, your English would never allow Africans to play drums. Here, we'll leave that. I'll go ahead and do it. So they would all congregate. You got Wolofs and Senegamians and different tribes playing their drums. I was out in the countryside, moved them here, restored them kind of as they were. They really over-restored them because we never painted the house back then.
Well, this wouldn't happen.
Yeah, you'd paint the inside, not
inside.
the outside.
Okay.
And your wood was always cypress. It doesn't rot, termites won't eat it, but it's also flammable, very flammable. So your kitchen was always far away from the house.
Like the tap.
More houses. We just were in the schoolhouse, and there's a fellow in there telling us about schooling in the South back in the 1800s. It was very interesting. Very nice and quiet place from after a long drive. Very nice to stretch your legs and learn a little something in a quiet atmosphere. Once again, this is the Harvest Host. It's off I-10 in Lafayette, Louisiana. Very, very quiet, very nice. I hope that this video has given you some ideas for your motorhome, and thank you for watching.